Okay, y'all, I'm back. So yeah, I reached out to the lender, and just to get an update. Hey, what's going on? Because at this point, I think like 2 or 3 days. Well, what happened was, when I called the real estate agent that I'm talking about, it was like Thursday, I think. And so Friday, I sent the information because the lender actually sent me the link or whatever. Sent the information that day. Friday, I actually spoke with him, and he was like, "Okay, give me a couple of days." So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday comes. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tuesday comes. And he hadn't said anything. So I actually reached out to him. Hey, I'm looking, just trying to see if there's an update. Do you need any more information? Where are we? Where do we go from here? So he was like, I'll reach out to you before the end of the day. Long story short, they approved me for the loan. Yay, that's good. Praise God for that. But it was not that much money. And now, 5 years ago, it would have been great. But 2023, it just was not. And I was like, wow, that's so discouraging. And with the amount of money that he approved me for, I actually went online. I was like, well, let me just see, what I can find. And they had some houses. I was approved for under $200,000. Okay. Yeah. And so they did have some townhouses, but a lot of them were fixer uppers. And I'm just not in the financial place. I'm not in the mindset. I don't know the people. Now, if I had some friends and family or whatever that were flippers or could, to do the renovation to where I knew they wouldn't charge me an arm and a leg, that would be great. I don't know anybody like that, which means I would probably be paying full price for everything, unless God would intervene, which He's able. But so I went back to him. I was like, wow, there's really nothing that I want. And they definitely had some things, but there's nothing that I want, in this amount of money that you gave me. Is there anything I can do to increase that amount? He was like, well, one thing that you can do is, because my student loans, as I said earlier, are in deferment. He's like, you can bring them out of deferment, get an income-based payment plan, and then, provide me proof of that. And then, that would possibly give you an extra $15,000-$20,000, because we can base your income, or base, your whatever, off of that amount. I guess right now they're just using the complete amount that I owe. But I don't know. I just didn't really want to do that. I want to enjoy this deferment as long as possible. And at any rate, he did some numbers. I had some situations with my taxes. If you don't know, with the travel nurse, your stipends you don't claim, because that's tax-free money. And then, because being a travel nurse is kind of like a business, there are some deductions and stuff that you can claim. But keep in mind that every time you do a deduction, when you get ready to buy or purchase a home, so when you do like a write-off or a deduction of something, the actual money that it says that you're bringing in, it lessens. So it shows the money that you made. You write off whatever. If I write off my gas, from my car, because I'm driving my car as a travel nurse, or I write off my food, or the hotel that I have to pay for, whatever that I write off. Okay, my actual income lessens. And so when you go to purchase a home, it looks as if you only brought in a certain amount of money. Let's say you made $80,000, but you're able to write off 20,000 for a business or what have you, as your traveling expenses or what have you. So now it looks like you've only bought home $60,000, and according to the lender, that's what they're going to base your ability to pay off of. So your loan will be based off that $60,000. So because of that, I went ahead and had my taxes amended. And that way, that would increase the actual money that I actually brought in. It hurt in the amount of taxes that I would eventually end up owing, which God worked that out to where, that was paid on the spot by someone else. That was a blessing as well. But it hurt in that instance, but it helped because it raised my actual approval amount $20,000, which put me over 200,000. That's a blessing still. But still, not the houses that I want. Now, let me say, I God has been good. I've never lived in a luxury place. I've always had a place to stay. Um, and I just kind of lived in, the rougher neighborhoods, not necessarily lived out the projects. Nothing against the projects. If I had to go to the projects and live there today, God knows I will humble myself. I will pray, and I will go if that was the only option that I had. But I just lived in the places that were more low income. Let me say that. And so buying my home, I just wanted to live in a better neighborhood, not thinking that I'm more than anybody, but you work hard. We work hard, whether you're a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, whether you collect trash, whether you're a mail person, whether you work at McDonald's, whatever you do, if you go to work faithfully, you clock in. Sometimes we're tired, sick, irritated, going through depression, what have you. We work hard. Janitor, whatever you do. And so I'm working hard. I'm traveling out of town, leaving my family, leaving my church. Here, when you're on a travel nurse assignment, I work 6 days a week. And there are some weeks I've worked 7 days. And so I said, Lord, I'm working to make the money. I at least want what I want. I know I can't live in the in the neighborhoods with the stars, and I don't really care to, but I'd like to live in a nice place. I don't want to live in a drug infested neighborhood. I want to live, and there's drugs everywhere. The rich do just as much drugs sometimes as those that don't have as much money. But there's a difference in the neighborhood, if we be honest. And so the neighborhoods that I could afford were not the better neighborhoods. And so I went to God in prayer, y'all. I said, Lord, you bless me. You open up the door and allow me to be able to pay off debt. Allow some debt to be paid off for me. Allow me to be in a position to actually get pre-approved for a loan, because I never even thought, not on my own. Now, I figured, once I got married and, maybe our two incomes together, we could do that. But honestly, I just never thought that I'd be able to do it by myself with God's help. But you did. You opened the door for me, and you are able to bless me. You can touch the lender. you give me money out of the fish's mouth. If anybody know the Bible, there's a time where it came time to pay taxes, and God told, I believe it was Peter, go to the fish's mouth. Go down to wherever the water was, you're going to find a fish, open his mouth. It's going to be enough money for your taxes and my taxes. I said, God, this whole earth is yours. It belongs to you. You are able to bless me. There's money. There are programs that sometimes, y'all, we don't even know about. I said, Lord, show me the programs. Open the door for me in neighborhoods that my money is too short to go into. And so just been getting to pray like that. And also I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if it's not your will, make me satisfied with whatever. I said, but it is my desire to stay in a brand new home. That is my desire, y'all. I wanted to just stay in a home that nobody else has stayed into. Many of you have already done that, so it's nothing to you. But I've never, I've always, it's just been a house that has been rented or whatever. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted to stay in a home that I was the only one. It would be my spirit. When I go anywhere, a hotel or especially a home, I pray in the house, Lord, rebuke any spirit that's not of God. And, you be the ruling force in here. But I want it to be, I'm the first person to pray here. I'm going in worshiping, I'm going in giving God the glory. I'm going in. I wanted to purchase a new home. And y'all might think this sounds crazy, but God knows I was sitting on the side of my hotel bed. And I think I had just finished reading my Bible, and it was like I could smell the smell of a new house. The way that I know how a new house smells is because I've had many family members to purchase new homes, cousins or whatever, and you go see it or whatever. That smell, just like a new car smell, what it smells like. And I was like, Lord, are you trying to tell me something? Or it's just my mind playing tricks on me? I don't know. But God is amazing. Fast forward. So we live in the social media age, y'all, right? So I actually had been kind of scouring YouTube and I had been scouring, that's my dog, y'all, scouring YouTube and actually on Facebook, there's a first time home buyers program. Some of you may belong to that. Just listen to what people were saying and writing or whatever. And everybody was saying, when you go to apply for a mortgage, don't just apply for one. You have 15 days to where you can apply for multiple lenders, and it would only be counted as one inquiry. They were also saying, some people were saying that one bank told me no, but the other bank told me yes, or one bank approved me for this amount, but the other bank gave me more than enough, different lenders, different requirements, which is strange. However, I was like, you know what? I think I had up until the May 9th to apply without it being another inquiry. So, and I think it was like the 7th or the 8th. So whatever day it was, I was like, okay, I'm going to try my credit union. So I applied there, that day. I called, told them I was interested. They did the pre-qualification, I believe. And then they said I was, pre-qualified, told me what documents I had to send. They sent me the link to my email that I had to go on and apply. And I did and sent all the information. Now, it got to a point where one of the lenders sent me an email saying that I had to write a letter of explanation for the bankruptcy. So I had never heard of that, a letter of explanation. I wasn't sure. So good old Google, good old YouTube. I went up there and basically they just wanted to know a reason, why did you file for bankruptcy? Why did you, whatever. I've heard that NACA, which is another home buying program, sometimes does that. And then I actually went on YouTube and I had examples of, how you should form your letter, what you should say or what have you. So I wrote my little letter. I told them, what was going on at that time. They wanted, they say in the email, they said they wanted a handwritten, but on the YouTube videos, they were saying that you can actually type it up, but you actually have to sign it and date it. But I just went ahead and wrote it with my hand. I wanted it to be as legitimate and heartfelt as possible. So I did. I sat down and I wrote, what was going on at that time, the debt that I had, how much money, I told them all of the things. And then I also went in the letter and I told them how I had changed things, how right now I have 100% payment history. I have no late payments. Right now my credit score has gone up tremendously. My debt is at zero, with the exception of the things that we mentioned. And how that was the first and only time that I intend to ever do that. And, just wrote a heartfelt letter. So once I did that, I hadn't heard from Navy Federal. That I think I did that within a couple of days. And then I sent them an email to make sure that they had received it. And the lender that I'm dealing with, or I won't call, I guess the loan processor, she was like, okay, so now we're going to submit it to underwriting. So as of today, we're still under underwriting, and today is the 15th. I went and checked it this morning. Fast forward to let's say the 10th or the 11th. So I'm still thinking about a brand new home, y'all. Online looking at brand new communities in my area. And I come across a community that's actually probably like 10 minutes from the house that I'm currently renting. And I just decided to call. I was like, well, let me just call them, see what they say, And I called her. I called the office. So actually, with this particular community, they have phases. So I believe they've done phase 1 and phase 2. They're actually getting ready to do phase 3 starting in June. So I called her and I was like, hey, I'm in the home buying process. I'm past my actual time where I can actually apply for a mortgage and my credit not be dinged. This is what my credit scores are right now. This is the debt that I have. I'm a travel nurse, just kind of gave her the spiel. And I told them also what I had been, I don't know, maybe if that was a good thing or not, but I did. I told them what I had been approved for with the other lender. And Tinka, no. And she was saying, with the amount of money that you make, I don't see why, they would only approve you for that amount. So I tell you what, she said, we have a preferred lender, and the home is with Ryan Homes. There's some good and there's some bad with them, just like D.R. Horton. I guess everybody has some good and bad reviews or what have you. But anyway, she was like, we have a preferred lender. She's like, if you will allow us to, she was like, I will get my loan officer to give you call you, give you a call or send you an email. Sorry, y'all. Had a blank thought. My dog is kind of throwing me off. Send you an email so that you can apply. She was like, it shouldn't. And I asked, I was like, isn't it gonna, mess up my credit? She's like, it may ding your credit, but it's only going to be about 3 or 4 points. She's like, but I really do believe that we could do something for you. So I was like, all right, just go ahead and take the chance. So they sent me the email, and I went ahead and applied. I also sent them my pay stubs. I went through the process. If anybody has ever applied for anything, your addresses, your employments, your all employment history, all of the things. And then I sent it to her. She was like, all right, so it's not going to take, because I was telling her that I'm still waiting on another lender. She's like, and I told her also how long it took for the first one to get back to me. She's like, I'm going to get back with you today. Once the lender takes a look at your information, runs everything through, we'll let you know whether or not you're pre-approved, which that was strange for me. At any rate, this was that morning about 10 something. At about 2 o'clock, she called me and asked me, she was like, hey, we're just, we're going through your information, and the loan officer wants to know if you are a 1099 employee or W-2. So I told him I'm a W-2. She's like, okay, that works in your favor. I'll give you a call back. Y'all, about 15 minutes later, she called back and told me, she's like, you're approved. She was like, I told her, I said, don't play with me now. She was like, I'm not playing with you. She's like, we have gone over your information. We ran your credit. We looked over your pay stubs. Everything is in line. She's like, you're approved for up to $315,000, y'all. Tell me, and let me say, the houses start in the upper 2s. So even if I get a base level home, it's my first home. It's not going to be my dream home. Even if I get a base level home, I can afford a brand new, not gently used, a brand new home. Okay. God, with God, nothing shall be impossible. What's for you, it is yours. For some reason, we have to go through some no's to get to the yes. But I think it just teaches us, not to give up. It teaches us long suffering and endurance and tenacity and all of those things. But it was mind blowing. What if I would have just stopped at the first lender? So here I am. So today again is May 15th, y'all. So I have my first appointment. So they have 2 model homes in the phase that are actually built and fully decorated. And then they're getting ready to start building in June. So I have an appointment on May 22nd, Lord willing, where I will go over the lot. Sorry, y'all. I'll look at the lots, look at the floor plans that they have available, and choose which one I want. And she'll give me she said, we'll give you, the cost of the lot, of the home, or what have you. And then we'll let you know how much earnest money you have to put up, because I think once you sign the contract, you have to put up a certain amount of earnest money, I guess, to show them that you're serious. So y'all, don't give up. And that's not the end of the story. We're really just at the beginning. But yeah, don't give up. Don't take somebody else's no for yours. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. Don't take somebody else's no for your yes. Everybody's story is not the same. What God has for you is yours. What God has for me is mine. Sometimes I have to wait and yours comes right on through. Sometimes you have to wait and mine's, comes right. However, just don't give up. We're walking our own path. We're writing chapters in our own book. My book ain't gonna cross paths with yours and vice versa. So yeah, here we are. And I plan to take y'all every step of the way of the home buying process. I was gonna fly home for the first meeting. But she was like, you really don't have to do that. We can do everything on Teams. where basically we can walk you through the neighborhood to look at the lot if that's what you desire. There will be other appointments, the design appointment where you start picking stuff for your house and all of that. But the initial meeting it can be done virtually. She's like, we work with a lot of military people all over the world, and a lot of times, we have to give them a virtual appointment, so you don't have to do that. So that's what I'm gonna do, y'all. My hotel room is a mess. I'm not even gonna let y'all see that. But yes, y'all, I am starting the home buying process. I am going to be purchasing a brand new home. Hallelujah. To God be the glory. As a travel nurse that has been a travel nurse for 1 year and roughly 6 months. Yeah, that's the beginning of my story. Of the new story, of a new chapter in my life. I pray that you all are encouraged. I pray that you all don't give up. Don't let age, don't let the amount of time. If anybody looked at my other video, it took me 16 years to take my state boards. I graduated school 16 years ago. Actually, it's going on 17 or 18 years. But when I got my license, it had been 16 years. Your story ain't over till it's over. Go get it. Go get your degree. Go get that job. Go start that business. Go get it. Put God first now. Don't try to put him on the back burner. And then when things mess up, you want to say, why God, why? Let's put God first. Let's live for him. Let's trust him. And let's live the abundant life that the Bible talks about. All right, y'all. So part 1 of many parts, I'm sure. Once I actually go home, I will be able to take pictures on my lot, and we'll follow the process like that. But thank you for watching. I know it's a long, drawn out story, but I thank you for watching. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, comment. As everybody say, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to anyone's channel. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that like button. It helps those of us who are out here making YouTube videos. And I want my channel to grow. All right, y'all, be blessed.